I've been into fitness all my life, probably. Our mission is to make India a healthier place.
Love it.
And we love the vision that we have because we are changing lives.
How did you convince them to A, come to India, and B, to partner with you?
They did on their side and we did on our side because we were already into fitness space.
Right.
So we kind of knew how it worked.
Was it also a USP at the time to have a gym which is open, 24/7? I mean, maybe today there is a little more competition in that space, but I think back then you were probably one of the pioneers when it came to this concept as well.
We were the first ones to bring it to India, where with the 24/7 concept,
Right.
Not just the 24/7 plus workout anywhere.
Right.
That was not there in India at all at that time.
How big a challenge is people, once people actually have a gym set up?
I think it's a challenge which is improving by the day.
What is one big fitness myth that India in particular has?
Inch loss.
Okay.
Nothing called inch loss.
What trends are you seeing in personal training?
I think it totally depends on your goals, your journey, your awareness about health and fitness.
One mistake that new gym goers make in their first month of membership.
Not being consistent.
If building your body was like building your business, this is the kind of person that you want to be talking to. Today, I have with me a phenomenal entrepreneur, someone in the fitness space who's really gone out there and crushed it. More about who he is and what his mission is. I'm going to leave it up to Vikas to actually talk about that. Vikas, welcome. And so good to have you on Let's Chat with GB.
Hi, Gaurav. Thank you so much for having me here. So myself, I've been into fitness all my life, probably.
Okay.
I started with sports and fitness, wholesale, retail, and quite a bit of a journey from selling equipment to selling experiences to the members.
Right.
Been doing this for about 25 years now.
Yeah.
Our mission is to make India a healthier place.
Love it.
And we love the vision that we have because we are changing lives.
100%.
And that's what I love doing.
Awesome. And of course, in this mission, to make India healthier, changing lives, you actually now have, one of the top fitness franchises in the world, and you brought them, to India. How did it all begin? Like, where did this conversation with Anytime Fitness actually begin? When did the conversation first happen? How did you reach out to them? And how did you convince them to A, come to India, and B, to partner with you, when this entire journey started?
So this was way back in 2011.
Okay.
When we knew that this is a brand which is available in the country.
Right.
And also with our previous experiences of what we were doing, running gyms at that time, but in different formats, and knowing where the fitness industry was heading, what the consumption space in India was looking like.
Right.
And knowing about this brand, the due diligence process started, and it took almost over a year.
Okay.
To convince them that we are the right people.
Right.
For this to be brought to India. And they did on their side and we did on our side because we were already into fitness space.
Right.
So we kind of knew how it works.
Right.
And then knowing how their system processes and tech was really important.
Right.
So a good process of 1 year.
Nice. And and these guys are obviously it's an American chain, right? So did that mean also there was a lot of travel back and forth, between their teams visiting or you visiting? So were there a lot of, visits that happened back and forth as well?
Yes, I think dating back, I think it was 1 visit from their side and 2 visits from our sides, because we also wanted to be pretty sure of what we are investing into.
Of course.
But they had good tools and tech.
Right.
And as I say, franchising starts from America. So we want to understand what exactly do they do and how they do it.
Yeah.
But we found it really, really comfortable for us to get into this business with them.
Got it. And was it also a USP at the time to have a gym which is open, 24/7? I mean, maybe today there is a little more competition in that space, but I think back then you were probably one of the pioneers when it came to this concept as well, right?
We were the first ones to bring it to India, where with the 24/7 concept, not just the 24/7 plus workout anywhere.
Right.
That was not there in India at all at that time. But we, at that time, our focus was, as the brand's tagline back then was club for busy people. It was focused on convenience, being in the neighborhood.
Right.
I think we are still doing that, but a lot has changed from convenience to coaching today.
Of course.
But back in the day, it was all about being convenient. because people don't like to travel for working out.
Right.
They want a gym in the
As
neighborhood.
close. Yeah.
Yeah. And then 24/7 was the need of the hour, because there were call centers,
Right.
there were businesses where people would return at 10 p.m. Like
course.
I would come back home from my shop somewhere in Delhi, and I'll be home at 9 or 10, and then I can't work out because the gyms would shut down at 10.
Correct.
That's how Anytime Fitness clicked.
Love it. No, I think it's just such a phenomenal idea and service. The fact is that, of course, I see a lot of people who kind of get their morning routines and morning gym in, but if they miss that, then it's gone. Then it's like there's no way, because as you mentioned, gyms were actually closing at 10 p.m. And more. But take me back to your journey in health and fitness. Of course, you're still keeping yourself super fit. I'd love to know growing up. What was your routines like? Were you always looking at exercise? Were you working out at gyms yourself? Even prior to the Anytime Fitness story really beginning, what was that like for you growing up?
I was really fat.
Is it? That's hard.
I was really fat.
Okay.
I was not an obese kid or an adult, but I was not in the best of shapes ever. And that didn't change when we opened our first gym in 2009. That was not Anytime Fitness, but some other brand. It didn't change then. It changed after Anytime Fitness.
Is it?
That's when I understood the real importance of being fit myself. Prior to that, I think I was working just relentlessly towards doing things for people, for making a living. But there was a point when the Anytime Fitness started that my life also changed.
Love that.
Into the person that you see today.
Yeah. No, and I've been seeing it like, your journey over the last, few years at least. And I've seen that you've always been super fit. You're always making time for, exercise, fitting that into your routine as well. So interesting. And you were a Delhi boy growing up?
Yes. Born and brought up in Delhi. Did spend a couple of years in Ludhiana, where I was working with my uncle in manufacturing cloth, trying different things. That was before I got married. After my college, I was just trying, what works best for me.
So when Anytime Fitness, first, came to India, now we're talking about, 15 years ago, Gym 001.
Yeah.
Okay. What was it like for you to set up, B, bring in, even, coaches or management to manage it? Because as you said, you were a pioneer in this space. No one else had done this, prior to you. What was it like, if I'm taking you back to now 15 years ago?
So I think a lot of experiences that we carried mattered. As I said, I was into equipment selling.
Correct.
We were selling to gyms as well. We were selling to corporates, residential. And we had our gyms. We had 3 gyms running in a different brand name back in the day. Now, all those experiences really helped when it came to 2013. Almost same time today, first Feb it was, in 2013 when the door of the first gym opened.
Oh, nice.
So, getting the changes done, we were operating gyms in a certain way. India was operating in a certain way, but there was a brand which said, no, we have to operate this way, because every brand comes with their own flavor.
Correct.
So we had to follow, but we had to keep that faith also in them. Yeah, this is going to work. It was not easy finding the right people. I think family and friends came into picture.
Always.
And they were a part of this entire journey. And I think now I look back and say, it was smooth.
And you now gone past over 150 gyms, is it?
I think 180 as we speak today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And you're looking at, adding how many now in a year? How many gyms are you guys adding now every year?
I think last year we added a little upwards of 40. 2025. 26, we are looking anywhere upwards of 70.
Amazing.
We have a good pipeline. I think we have about 40 franchisees who have signed up, looking for space, looking to open soon.
Brilliant.
And then, yes, pipeline keeps on growing.
And I think you were also mentioning to me that, the the key matrix is the fact that a lot of your franchisees come back and they say, we want more, right? They have one gym, they have two gyms. In fact, in our prior interactions, I think you had some who had even gone up to 5+ gyms. So you have franchisees who have multiple gyms and across multiple cities as well, right?
Yep. So the biggest one we have is his 16th gym is opening.
That's crazy.
That's the biggest one.
Yeah.
But if we talk about beyond 5, I think that should be about 7-8 people who have gyms beyond 5.
Fantastic.
Numbers like 6, 7, 8, 9 are there. We also ended up selling an entire state of Gujarat to one gentleman who is committed to open 25 gyms in Gujarat itself.
Fantastic.
So yeah, people see that kind of possibility in this space,
right?
And those who take that leap of faith and they trust the brand and the process. They
trust a
end
Gujarati
up
gentleman to do that, right? They're phenomenal risk, taking ability. So they're like
100%.
cuddling it. You said 25, like done.
Yeah,
like let's
absolutely.
sign in, let's move forward. Agreed.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Agreed that. And so tell me, what is the typical, franchisee makeup? I mean, I'm sure like some of them come from the fitness industry, but I'm sure many of them are also running, other businesses. And it's just that what you bring to the table makes it kind of, convenient, for them to actually sign on because the systems are set, the processes are set. It is, a very templatized, business, which is now, easily, repeatable, replicatable and scalable. So what's your typical franchisee really looking like?
Most of them are really passionate about fitness.
Mm-hmm.
They might not have been a part of any gym earlier, but their journey would have been there.
Right.
So something in fitness, some trigger of fitness. I know people, bodybuilders, very, very less who become a franchisee. But in my experience, we have sold a franchise to a person in Gujarat whom we met at a bodybuilding show, and he was bodybuilding himself. Yeah. But he was from a good business family and he was just following his passion.
Right.
I think most of the franchises that we have follow the passion.
Yeah.
We do have the other ones who are, it's business for them.
Right.
But they are also really passionate for people. I think we end up finding good people who are passionate about people, passionate about fitness.
Yeah, which is, of course, I think the core to the business as well. So in terms of company owned versus franchised, is there a percentage there in terms of how many are company owned and how many are franchised?
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Zero company owned and 100% franchise owned.
That's fantastic. Wow. And that's very, very, unique and rare, because I've known people in hospitality. I've known people, even in other fitness, businesses.
Yeah.
Very rare that you'll actually be 100% franchise business.
Yes. But Gaurav, that's the way we wanted it always, because we have seen different things in different fitness brands in the past.
Right.
And we didn't want to dilute our attention to the fact that our job is to support our franchisees and the members.
Right.
We, at all points, our stakeholders have to make money. They have to get the goals, achieve the results that they are there for. Members should get results or achieve their goals.
Yeah.
Employees and franchises make money.
Yeah.
And also the satisfaction that they get along with. So we have been very focused, and that's why we never wanted to enter into the corporate owned and operated gym space.
Right. No, fantastic. And of course, even coming in a business which is 100% franchise business, there have to be some inner secrets. So I'd love to know some secrets from your side, in terms of what is it that you really bring to the table, bring to a conversation, when a conversation like this is to start. Because a lot of people have come down the franchise route and failed also in the past, right? What is the magic formula that you bring to the table that just makes it so easy for everyone?
I think there is no magic. I think it's the focus, or it's the thing in your head that who are you working for?
Right.
Who is your most important stakeholder? Mm-hmm. So if that is defined well, that is taken care of. Yeah. And for us, our members are the biggest stakeholders, and whatever decisions we take are purely member focused. What is the member going to get if this changes?
Right.
Are they going to benefit?
Yeah.
Are we going to make anything better for them?
Right.
If the answer is yes, then we will go ahead and do it. Otherwise, we won't.
Love that. And when you look for a franchisee, what are the non-negotiables that, okay, these are the things that this person has to bring to the table before we even move forward? And I'm saying apart from, obviously the commercial side, what are the other things that you look for, which are the, let's say intangibles?
I think one non-negotiable, if I'll talk about, is if that person doesn't have any, traits of empathy, sympathy, and understanding people, because we are into people's business.
Love that.
And if you don't understand people, and then if you treat them as objects, that doesn't work. In this business, that doesn't work. You have to be human, understand people.
Love that. Yeah. No, I would agree. And I would always tell that, even, when I'm doing my trainings, I would always tell people, like, you are all in the people business. Yes. And I think, if I just wish more people would actually understand that. And I tell people, you could be experts, in your products, you could be expert in your services. But the truth is, the 80-20 rule of relationships is 80% people, 20% product or service, not the other way around. Yeah. I think if you can just build that connect, with people, and, have those people feel valued, I think then you're already off to, a great start there.
100%. And our good franchise owners know a lot of members by their name. Fantastic. And I'm talking about owners. I'm not talking about our managers or staff. Right. But we are we are not a very big box kind of a gym. We have limited number of members, and we are able to offer personalization, and not just on the staff level, at the owner level as well.
Right. So typically, how many members would a gym have? Let's say in the median range, how many members would a gym normally have?
If I'll say on an average across the country, the number would be somewhere around 800.
Sizable.
Tier 1 would be a little higher, tier 2 a little lower.
Right. And interesting, when you mentioned, tier 2, what's happening in India in terms of, what are you starting to see in, tier 2 cities? And again, I say, in terms of movement towards a brand name, there would always be like a gym, which would be in a basement, regular, like kind of, not really organized, not the best, equipment, trainers. But what are you starting to see in tier 2 now?
That the demand is there. They are accustomed to health and fitness because there are a lot of small gyms are there, but they are eager to get some quality, the quality equipment, quality trainers, processes. That is what the tier 2 cities are ready today for, and then you go in with a brand which serves people. Yeah. They all want to join that.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think the need to associate with a good brand and a brand that serves doesn't sell. I think that's one of the key things as well. And I think definitely that is something that is being brought to the table by you guys as well. Tell me in terms of demographics. Who's making up the people who come into your gym? So is it in terms of, let's say, age groups now? Are we talking about what percentage would you say is 25 and below? Then maybe a 25 to 45 and then a 45 plus. So any, demographic percentage that you might want to share?
I'll say 60% is between the age group of 18 to 35. And then it's a split going up. Not senior citizens are less.
Right.
They should be the highest category.
Yeah.
They are the lowest category still. Right. Females are about 30-35% across the board.
Okay.
Which is very different from the West. Mm-hmm. In the West, you'll find 60% females going to the gyms and 40% males. Here it's just the opposite.
What are the other trends that you're seeing which are different? Like, and Anytime Fitness would obviously have, global data because, they're in all the major markets across Europe, Australia, America, Latin America, the Gulf and India. So when you guys all sit down together, as global meets and global, master franchisees, is there something that, comes to the fore and they're like, okay, wow, that was, unexpected, or something that maybe you have picked up, like you said, more women working out, abroad, etc. Is there anything that come to your mind where you're like, okay, wow, that is a revelation even for me?
I think it's a lot of things, but there's a lot of commonality as well. I think everywhere people are same, the demand is same, the requirement inside the gyms is same. But in any place outside of India, gyms function without people. Here, because of the kind of manpower we are able to have, it's very different. So I kind of find it strange, difficult, a lot of different feelings and emotions. But one of the biggest factor for that is that in India, we don't have basic fitness education in the prelim or school level. So once a person is like grown up, and then they will have their exposure. The first exposure will come from a neighborhood gym only.
Correct.
And when I used to sell treadmills, I used to have people coming in and they would be scared to walk on a treadmill. They'll be holding their hands so tightly. They're shit scared that I'll fall down. And that happens in our gyms as well. We need to really handhold people to help them work out, which doesn't happen in the West. Not at all. Given the fitness penetration that we have is less than 1%, and we're talking about Asia, which is 7%, US, which is nearing 22%, Australia, 20-25%. It's a big difference.
India, you said, is about 7%.
Less than 1%.
Less than 1%.
Less than 1%. Damn. Asia is about 7%.
Oh, damn. So we have a long way to go.
We have a long way. Absolutely, we have a long way.
Yeah. Wow. Something soon you should be at from 180. I think it'll probably be like 1800. Gyms soon.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a possibility.
Yeah,
that's a possibility. Yeah.
Tell me about in terms of bringing in trained staff, okay, and also retaining staff. And I think that's probably a conversation that your franchise would probably have with you a lot, because there's a lot of poaching that happens in the industry as well. How big a challenge is people once people actually have a gym set up?
I think it's a challenge which is improving by the day, because back in the day when I started the business,
right,
my family used to say, "Oh, gym trainer," that kind of mentality. You go to a bank, no lending. Oh, it's a gym. Today as well, the banks haven't changed, but yes, society by large has accepted gyms as fitness centers or health clubs.
Right.
That has changed a lot. But still, the demand of qualified or certified manpower is more than the supply today as well.
Wow.
Because people, there are families who don't find this career a great career for their son or a daughter, because then it's like, how will you get married? But today, the trainers who are working, they are certified, they make 6-figure salaries. What else do you need?
Of course. And they have the respect.
They have that respect.
Clients
and it's the knowledge that commands respect. So once someone is certified and they're coming in and they're doing the job, they're earning 1.5 lakh, 2 lakhs a month.
Right.
It's a decent job.
Of course.
It's a very decent job. And you have not done your postgrads and stuff like that.
Right.
The kind of education that you have done basic, and then you have taken a certification.
Yeah.
It's a great job. And when some people see that, they leave their jobs and they come to this as well, because it's the passion.
Of course.
You have to be passionate if you have to become a trainer.
Of course. And how strict are, again, you and your franchisees on, in terms of the education that one has, prior to becoming a trainer or a coach? Because a lot of times, there was in many gyms, it used to be a little dodgy, in terms of what, the guy had a great body. Now, just because he had a great body or she had a great body doesn't potentially make them, a great trainer or coach as well.
Yeah.
So are there certain guardrails that you set in place, at that point as well?
Definitely, yes. One, we look out for certified trainers. Now, when we get a certified trainer, they directly become a personal trainer or a membership experience manager or stuff like that. Right. But if we come across someone who is experienced but not certified, then we offer them certifications which we also provide them.
Nice.
Or we offer them subsidy, or we sponsor their education.
Great.
So we make sure that people who are working with us have at least a bare minimum level of education when it comes to fitness. It's not that someone who has not done anything can become a trainer. No, that is something that's a must.
Of course. And ballpark, again, let's say one of your mid-sized establishments, how many staff members do they need, along with, let's say, trainers, coaches, personal trainers, etc.? What is normally the strength looking like, on the support side from one establishment?
It would be anywhere between 15 to 20 people, including those who are on the roll, not on the roll, freelancers.
Right.
But that's 15 to 20 people serving the members.
Okay, yeah. So that's
sales, managers, trainers, personal trainers, housekeeping.
So you actually do have a bit of, let's say, an academy that actually helps, scale people up and get them ready as well. Okay, which makes a lot of sense.
Yes, we do a lot of trainings, both in-house and using the tech, which is virtually,
Right.
but we do have a lot of education material for people to get started.
Awesome. Let's take it back to a time where, which is a difficult time, especially in the gym and fitness business, which is COVID, right? And during the pandemic, I'm sure at that time, how many gyms did you have open at the time when COVID hit?
I think we were a little over 100 at that time.
Wow.
A little over 100 that time.
And gyms was probably, and fitness centers was one business which probably was the first to close and the last to open.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So what was it like at that time? Like what kind of conversations were you having with your channel partners, and what were you actually, how were you getting them through that difficult period?
Rent negotiations, the biggest thing that was going on with our channel partners. They all wanted reliefs in the royalties, franchisee fees and everything. We were helping them with those. Right. But one thing that we were doing, which was most important, was taking care of the team members.
Lovely.
Making sure that their house is also running. And the most important stakeholder, our members. We rolled out an app at that time. We were doing online sessions on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, for that people who are at home.
Right.
They could see and work out, do something, because there are a lot of people who are very habitual and that habit should not be breaking.
Right.
So morning, evening, that is something that we were doing. We were connecting with psychologists, nutritionists, right. And people of such likes. Okay, what should people be doing at home, right. in terms of nutrition, in terms of mindset?
Fantastic.
How do they pass through that? So it was all virtual, from the best of walks of life, people connecting in from say US, UK, India, and then imparting that education. And it was not limited to NNI Fitness members.
Open it to anyone.
Open it to anyone, awesome. Because everyone needed that.
Yeah. And obviously you would have, retained a lot of the flock as well. So everyone would have stayed and you wouldn't have lost too many franchisees at that time, right?
I don't think so. We lost any franchisee in COVID. Yes, there was an effect of COVID in a few cities where, the landlords were not so cooperative.
Right.
We lost a couple in the times to come because they were not able to recover from the losses. Our growth slowed down. We were on a trajectory at a 30-40% growth pre-COVID.
Right.
Just like beginning to grow, COVID came in. We didn't. We continued opening, but the growth slowed down.
Got it.
And then post-COVID again.
Yeah. And you're talking about almost 14 or 15 months, right? So if you're saying March of 2020, and I think the openings only started happening around October, November of 21.
Yeah.
Long period.
Maharashtra was the longest one, as you say.
Right.
Delhi was still not that bad.
Right.
But obviously 10 months, I believe it was. Khulta tha, band ho jata tha types. It used to open.
Stop and go.
Yeah.
What has changed in the mindset of people, as a consumer after COVID? Because something is flipped, this switch is flipped. People said our health is one of those things. But I think today, the consciousness that you have, what is to your mind coming to mind? Like, why are people, now so conscious about eating and, what they're eating and how they're working out and the exercise and the sleep? What's changed? Like, what did COVID really do?
I think COVID gave people a realization that being healthy helps you fight the disease from inside.
So true.
Right? I think that's the biggest realization people had at that time. And today you will see, our average number of live members was probably 700 before COVID, which is now gone to 800. So there are so many more people who want to join the gyms. And they understand that if they are eating healthy, I think the lifestyle change is the right word I would say that COVID brought in.
Yeah. I would say right, because there were people who had access to all the money, all the resources, and unfortunately, even that wasn't enough to save either them or some of their family members. And I think the realization really did become that paisa to bahut kama liya, but if health is lost, everything is lost. And I think people have just become so conscious on that side. Even on the dietary side, I think that people are just so much more conscious about what they're eating and what they're drinking. The youth today is almost not even willing to have alcohol. Sugary drinks are out of the question. Like no one. One time there was a time you go and everyone would ask for an aerated beverage.
Yeah.
Today, if you offer that, they look at you funny, right? Yeah. So even eating and drinking preferences have changed a lot.
Absolutely, I think it's all mindful eating. They like to indulge, but the frequency has gone down, or they would limit their calories during the day.
So true.
So those things have definitely changed, and healthy choices are there.
Yeah.
The choices are also growing. Awareness is also growing.
So win-win on both sides.
Both sides.
Tell me about the supplement side of things. Okay, because that, and I remember, when I was, just wrapping up with school, getting into college. I mean, that's the time when supplements had just started, coming in, and I remember there used to be companies like, ProLab and, Joe Weider, and this like 95, 96, around that time. But so much has changed, in that side as well. What are the trends that you're seeing even amongst your members and in the industry as a whole? What are you seeing in terms of supplements? What is out, what is in, what is happening on the supplement side of things?
I think it's all coming in only. Nothing is going out right now, because as the awareness is growing, that is not just for fitness, that's for nutrition as well. So people are more aware and they consume. I think protein, creatine were the things that they began with. But today that's not there. They're talking about ashwagandha, magnesium, shilajit, stuff like that, and they're consuming it because they understand, how important or what are the benefits of such things.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I think I'm seeing a lot of people even go towards a lot of natural foods and natural supplements as well. There's a big push towards even organic, and all of that is happening quite a large extent as well. What about technology? Because I'm talking about even wearables, recently I picked up a Whoop and I've got an Ultra Human and all of that. So there's this big trend towards technology coming in, and what are you seeing on that side, especially with some of these wearables? People are now being very conscious about tracking sleep and recovery and all of these kind of things as well. What kind of trends are you seeing on the technology side of things?
Firstly, 2 people sitting wearing a sleeping device. At step tracker and stuff like that.
Correct.
I think people are wanting to know what their inside is, like what is the heart rate, what is the oxygen, how they sleep, what makes them sleep better, is it late night dinners helping, alcohol helping? And I think these things have also made a change when people wear it. And if they have, say, had a late night heavy dinner or alcohol, it'll say, you have not slept well. Your readiness levels are not that great.
So true.
And then next day or in the times, you understand, okay, no, this is something that I am not going to have.
Yeah.
Especially after, say, 7 p.m. or stuff like that. And it immediately shows up in your energy levels. So tech is definitely become a part of, I think, everyone around. Be it a watch, a band, a ring. People want to understand how their body reacts or behaves to different kind of products.
Very true. And of course, you're seeing the same trends amongst your members as well. What percentage of members would you say are possibly using some kind of wearable device as well?
That's a tough one to crack, because we don't have insight into people who are wearing a Whoop or something.
Right.
We do have access to their health data because our coaches use that to guide them or support them. But when I personally go to the gym, I see a lot of people wearing some kind of tech.
Right.
But giving a number is really tough right now.
Yeah. I would agree there. But I'm just thinking amongst even our friend circles, like if there was a time where it was probably 5 or 7 or 10%, I think today maybe 1 or 2, so maybe as many as 50% are using some sort of tracker, even if it's a smartwatch or a band or something like that.
My mom is like 70. She wears Apple Watch. She needs to track her steps. I think the basic that anyone is doing is steps.
Right.
And they are in that zone of 10,000 steps to karna hai.
Correct.
That is something that needs to my aunt, my mom, my dad.
Right.
Everyone has some kind of a tracker. They track, even if it's like my dad doesn't wear a watch, but it is on his phone. That he will know, okay, how many steps. He'll keep the phone in his pocket and then do it.
Awesome.
So tech is penetrating
everywhere.
The system.
I remember the Fitbit first came, and not in the wearable Fitbit, but they had a band that you would clip on somewhere. And I remember walking around. And I used to do the Hong Kong fairs and everything else, and it used to be such a big kick that I did 25,000 steps today because in Hong Kong you would end up walking a lot, at the exhibitions and all of that. Where did this number of 10,000 steps come from? Like that's what I want to know. Like everyone says that does a step karne. So where did that 10,000 number come from?
I don't know where this 10,000 number came from. I think I think it's a default setting in some of the Google Fit and all that 10,000. So
Right.
I think that's
That
the
became the
benchmark that has
benchmark.
been set, which is 10,000.
Yeah. But I think it's pretty cool how, people, and like you said, even, your parents,
Yeah.
our aunts, senior relatives are also now aspiring towards making that happen.
Yep.
I think that's actually brilliant. Tell me in terms of, even, and again, we can talk about, members or some of the stuff that you see in your conversations, cardio vis-a-vis strength. Okay. I think that's another area where there's a lot of, changes happening. What are you seeing on cardio versus strength training?
More understanding of why strength is important. It's not just about losing weight.
Right.
You are going to the gym, one, lose weight. There are people with different goals.
Right.
Cardio, strength, and then functional. There's a lot of trend of functional as well. People come in, they do their cardio and functional, and then they go out, or strength and functional, and they go out.
Yeah.
So it's a mix of people, but definitely, I'll say the cardio trend has gone down. We used to have a minimum of 8 treadmills in our gyms earlier.
Right.
That number has gone down to 5, 6. Whereas the number of strength equipment and the functional training equipment has gone up.
So when we say functional, okay, just for again our viewers and listeners, what are some of the things that fall into the functional category?
Anything that you do on a daily basis, body weight exercises, right? Something that gives you strength, like you using a rope or using TRX band and rowing and stuff like that. That kind of helps you live your daily life better. That's functional.
Got it.
It's not about the equipment or body weight. It's about doing the things like bending down, putting your box, carrying your luggage, those basics. Those things we have in the gyms where people like to do. Carrying your grandson, stuff like that. We are enabling people to be better at that.
Got it. So, okay, super. That's good clarity even for me, because even sometimes I want to say functional. Okay, but you're just saying things that help you function better in your day-to-day life. I love that. Yeah. Super. What are the other trends that you're really seeing right now? What are some of the new things that might be happening out west? And you're thinking that, okay, this is something that needs to come to India, sooner rather than later. Is there something like that you're seeing globally as well?
I think we all follow the West, and fitness is coming from developed countries that way.
Right.
Recovery is the next big thing that is happening, because and we as NNI Fitness have already started talking about training, nutrition, recovery. We began with training,
Correct.
and then we started talking about nutrition.
Right.
Recovery is the next thing, because even if you work out 7 days a week, that doesn't help. You need to give your body the time to recover. And now there are tools in the gyms that we have, like percussion equipment, compression equipment, that help you recover faster.
Right. And recovery would also have things like when you're having these cold, dips and all the saunas and all that. So that falls under the recovery category as well?
That definitely falls under recovery and wellness. Though we don't offer them at our gyms.
Right.
For operational reasons.
Of course.
It's not easy to provide member a clean sauna or a fresh water cold dip.
Correct.
I think that's for the wellness centers to provide.
Correct.
Where they can go in for that luxury that they want.
Yeah.
But we have different type of recovery mechanisms available in our gyms.
That totally makes sense. So let's do a bit of a rapid fire, and I'm going to read out one sentence, and you can give me one word, one sentence, whatever comes to your mind, like the first thing that comes to your mind. So let's have your answers on that, and of course, end of the show there has to be a goodie bag, based on the rapid fire as well.
Okay.
Awesome. So personally for you, are you more of a morning workout person or a late evening, nighttime grinder?
Early evening.
Early evening. Okay. For you, cardio first or weights first?
Weights first.
All right. What do you prefer more, consistency or intensity?
Consistency.
Love that. One exercise, that is your personal favorite when it comes to going into the gym?
There's not one. It's like mix of all the body parts that has to happen.
Right. What is one big fitness myth that India in particular has?
Inch loss.
Okay.
Nothing called inch loss.
Nothing called inch loss. Right. Which is a very underrated muscle group that people should focus on more, but they probably don't.
Calf.
Okay. One habit that sabotages fitness more than junk food. So a habit that normally people end up, falling prey to.
More than junk food.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's alcohol, maybe.
I would agree. Yeah, alcohol, sure. Yeah. Protein shakes, essential or optional?
Essential.
Okay. Rest days, overrated or underused?
Underused.
Okay. Music or silence while training? What is your preference?
Music.
Okay. Personal trainers, must have or nice to have?
Must have.
Must have. Yeah. One mistake that new gym goers make in their first month of membership?
Not being consistent.
Yeah. One number that a gym owner should obsess over daily?
Workouts per day.
Workouts per day. Awesome. Expansion or excellence? Which matters to you more?
Excellence.
Yeah. Wearables, game changer or bit overrated?
Game changer.
One leadership lesson that the fitness industry teaches you?
Again, consistency.
Okay. Cool. Okay, moving forward. Discipline or motivation? What is more important for you?
Both actually, but discipline.
Okay. Fitness, is it built more in the kitchen today or in the gym?
In the kitchen.
In the kitchen, yeah. 1 hour workout or 10,000 steps? What would be your preference?
1 hour workout.
Okay. Biggest reason why people actually end up quitting gyms?
There are many.
Okay. Just the one or two that come to your mind, like the top ones.
They lose motivation.
Okay. One business mistake that shows up in fitness, even in the fitness business, one business mistake that comes up with fitness businesses.
It's about people. So if you stop thinking about your members, that's the biggest mistake.
I love that. Yeah. Always has to be, again, people first and think about your members. Yeah. Right. Cool. One thing that gyms should stop selling immediately, something that gyms are offering and they should probably not be offering.
They should not be selling, they should be advising. They should advise people on what they should be doing, on the tenure that they should be joining, rather than just selling the cheapest product possible.
Love that. Yeah. One trend that you think will dominate fitness in the next 5 years?
I think it's going to be a mix of training, nutrition, recovery. It cannot be one thing that's going to dominate.
It has to be like a 360-degree approach.
It has to be wholesome.
Awesome. And the last one, if you were to define fit or fitness in one sentence, what would that reply be?
Be consistent, go to the gym regularly, follow the time that you are going, and take help from personal trainer because they are the best to help you.
Awesome. Love that. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate all the shares on the rapid fire. As we come to our concluding, maybe 15, 16 minutes of the podcast, let's talk about, the business of running, a gym. What kind of investment is one looking to make? They're coming to you, they're looking to, either, come to Anytime Fitness or, even a similar franchise. What kind of investment is one looking to make, in the get-go?
So for an Anytime Fitness Center, you would need anywhere between 3 crores, 3.5 crores upfront to open a gym. That could include debt, bank funding, or whatever. But that's the kind of investment that goes in.
Got it. And this would include obviously all the equipments and the license fee and everything, the franchise fee. Everything would be all included.
The interior improvements, renovations, whatever is required, except the land cost. Everything is taken care of.
And of course, they would have to come in, with their own piece of, real estate that they own or they rent as well.
Yes, and we have a team that helps in leasing out as well.
Brilliant. And what is the typical area that one needs? Like how many square feet should one be looking at, when they come in to set up a gym? Anywhere between
a 4,000 to a 5,000 carpet.
Okay. So very, very manageable and doable from that perspective as well.
Yes.
In terms of, again, since you mentioned that there is, one of your franchises who has 16 outlets and so many more have, 5 plus, the ROI has got to be pretty good here now.
Yeah.
So what kind of ROI have you been delivering, in the past?
I think we have been consistent in delivering anywhere between 25 to 33%. YOY.
It's fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah. And what would the industry standard be, you think, compared to, let's just say, other players in the market?
I think 2025.
Yeah. So a
Would be-
bit higher than
bit
the
higher.
competition
Definitely
is.
a bit higher than what anyone else would make.
Right. And there is this, and I'm sure it's not a myth, there's probably some, science behind this as well, that come December, okay, especially around, Christmas time, and people are starting to set up, New Year resolutions and all of that. That time there's a big flow of, of people who start, joining gyms. So between, December, January, maybe, into February as well. But then, there starts to be a drop off, by March, April, May, kind of, a lot of those people haven't come back. What are your thoughts on that in terms of, why is that really happening, and how can that be addressed really?
I think people generally drop off after say 3 months or 4 months of their journey, because they lose their motivation. They get back into the old habit because fitness is the last priority. So the priorities change, and they stop coming. I think one thing that has to change is for the gym owners and the staff is to make sure that the people they have, that you advise them to join, you hold them accountable and bring back to the gyms, because they need that hand holding.
Of course.
That will really help.
Yeah, I love that. I think that angle of accountability and having a, like an accountability partner or someone who's just checking in on you, I think that will make, a big difference as well. Because as you said, life just tends to happen, and people say, "Arey, yaar, to bahut busy hai." Work has taken over, and yet, and yet health is such an important aspect.
And there'll be one small incident that would remind anyone, okay, you need to go back to the gym. So I think with us, we are the accountability partners, where we need to keep reminding people, you had a goal, you needed to change this, or you committed for a lifestyle change. Where are you, buddy?
Yeah. And you've also had some very interesting, marketing campaigns, right? I remember, one of your billboards had actually popped up. And, then it actually had names of people saying that, so-and-so person, paid for this billboard. So context being that, okay, you had gone ahead and signed up for the membership, you never showed up, and hence that's it. What was the reaction to that campaign, and where do some of these ideas of, some of these campaigns really come from?
I think we have a great marketing team which comes up with this, but I think it's more of operational, because we see that people come in, they join the gyms, and they drop off say 3 months, 4 months, 5 months down the line. That's not what we want. We want people to be coming in. And that's what the billboard said. This membership has been paid by a Rahul or a Megha.
Correct.
Because they joined the gym, but they never came to the gym. But we want them to come to the gym, because we want that lifestyle change that they wanted to happen. So that's the difference.
Yeah. No, I love that. I think it's a very impactful, campaign, and drives the message home. And you see that, pops up on social media.
Yeah, and I think when someone will say, "Oh, yeah, even I have paid. I should start going," and that's what we wanted. People should realize that they have paid, but they're not going to the gym.
Agreed. Yeah. No, I think, like a powerful campaign, for sure, because we've all been guilty. I mean, I don't know how many memberships I've signed up for, in my life, and just dropped off. And
everyone has.
Yeah. And until you're right, like, something happens, or you hear that, someone had an incident, or there was something that happened, they say, "Oh, I need to go back." Or, you do some blood work and a test happens, and then you find out that, "Oh, my parameters of XYZ are high and I need to go back." Tell me about, in terms of and I've of course interacted with some of the, coaches and trainers that are there in the personal training space. What trends are you seeing in personal training? Are more people, opting for that? And, your thoughts around having a personal trainer?
I think it totally depends on your goals, your journey, your awareness about health and fitness.
Right.
If you are someone who really knows, then you can use the NNI Fitness app, workout. We have built-in AI that will give you a suggested workout based on the equipment, based on your goal.
Right.
And you can use the app with the videos and stuff like that and work out.
Right.
But if you have a timed goal, or if you don't know how to work out, then you should take a personal trainer. I think first-time users should 100% take a personal training, so that they get to understand fitness, and then they can continue their journey on their own.
Right.
Or someone who is having a goal, like marriage, functions, beach, holiday, anything.
Yeah, and I think also if someone's looking for, like, really dramatic results, I think try and do it on your own. you're probably going to hurt yourself or do some damage.
Yeah.
And I think that, if you really want to, you want the results to happen quicker, yet in a scientific manner, I think you must have someone on your support.
I think the biggest thing that changes is accountability and motivation.
Correct.
And that one extra rep that your personal trainer pushes you towards, that gives result. If you're doing on your own, you will do those 10. But maybe with a personal trainer, you'll do 12. Because there's someone standing in front of you and telling you, you can do it. That's the difference.
True that. The other thing I also liked, in interactions, that I had with some of your franchisees is the fact that they're not really overtly pushing personal training.
Yeah.
They're like, we're around. If you want it, feel free to reach out. Because there are some chains where I thought that the push to, when you're signing up, personal trainer, so like they were getting you into the gym. And the next thing is that, they were just throwing a personal trainer on you. And they're like, iske bagair to chalega nahi. Right. So I think that is something that, and again, when you spoke about the mis-selling, that is happening. I think that needs to be reined in certain establishments, not Anytime Fitness, but otherwise I think it's something that needs to be reined in.
All across the board, what happens is that you will sell a membership, whatever the lowest ticketed price would be, or a discounted membership. And then you enter inside, then it's the PT push that starts.
Right.
But as I said, we need to be advisors. So if there's a new person coming in, our team will tell them that, this is something that you need to do. You need to commit for a 12-month so that you can see the changes or changes in the blood parameters, visceral fat or stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you need a personal trainer also because you have never worked out.
Right.
That's the kind of advice people want. Because if they're coming, it's like you're going to a doctor and you're looking for the right advice.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah. So it will not be like, thrust upon someone. If someone is relatively knowledgeable, they've been working out for many years, then you're like, hey, we're around if you need us. But
absolutely.
We're not going to thrust
and then we have
you.
the app. You can do everything on the app. You can record your progress and you can see it over a period of time. You'll get suggestions on different workouts. The workouts will change over a period of time as you progress.
Right.
So people we enable people to work out on their own if they want to.
Right.
We have people who are standing in the gym and looking at people's posture and helping them, this is something that you're doing wrong.
With no agenda.
With no agenda. And they are not selling personal training. And then there are personal trainers. The difference that they create is accountability motivation. And if somebody is not looking for having better accountability or they have self-motivated,
correct,
they can work out on their own.
Love that. Yeah. What is the future plans looking like? Like, what are the next couple of years looking like for Anytime Fitness? What are some of the things that are really exciting you about what lies ahead?
Getting more people fit. But for that, we need more gyms. So we're looking at 500 gyms by the end of 2030.
Fantastic.
That would mean 500,000 people working out at Anytime Fitness centers.
Yeah.
That's the goal that we have.
Right. And such a big role to play, right, for you in the future of this country. I mean, everyone talks about the demographics of India and how India has a younger population than anywhere else in the world. But I think truly a lot of the youth has to opt for health and fitness and strength and all of that as well, right? Otherwise, Viksit Bharat to bahut dur hai. It's not going to happen, right?
You are absolutely right, and I think that awareness is there. That that understanding that preventive is better. Prevention is better than cure.
Right.
So that understanding is there. And with all the social media globalization that is happening, the understanding is also there.
Very true.
So, people opt for fitness now. This was not something that we used to see a decade back.
Any message that you want to leave our audience with? Any message that you want to send out for viewers and listeners? Anything from your side that you want to tell them?
I'll just say that be consistent. Focus on yourself. Give your body time, because if you won't give your body time, it will take it in a different way.
So true.
That is one message that should stay with people.
So true.
And if you are fit, you can do a lot more for a longer period of time.
100%.
Otherwise, you will get sick as the age.
Correct.
As you age.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I think valuable message and truly, like, if you aren't taking care of yourself right now, then there's going to be a price to pay later on. Today, you may think, everything is great, but like I said, there will be, issues that will pop up in due course. So definitely take care of yourself. Of course, we have some goodies for you because of, the rapid fire and the fact that you're actually, here on the podcast. So we have, certain things for you. One of them, of course, is a commemorative mug. So since
nice.
you were on, Let's Chat with GB, so we definitely have, that mug for you.
Thank you.
I know I've seen you in a lot of the forums where you're already wearing some, natty, ties and formal wear. So this is a tie which is there from Shantanu and Nikhil. So just something that
thank you again.
Would,
thank you so much.
Probably value. And then of course, I keep seeing you putting down a lot of your thoughts. So that is, a pen from Shantanu and Nikhil. So just something again for you to, just write down.
Thank you so much.
Put down your thoughts. And I know you're big on goals. So we also have, the Scaling with GB Goal Planner, which is, I'm not sure if I actually gave you one in the past, but this is just a goal planner, which has got, a whole bunch of, routines and regimens. And of course, to set your goals and actions. Okay. So I thought that would be interesting, including a lot of stuff on exercise and even listing out massive actions. So the new planner that's just been launched by us. And last but not the least is also the Let's Chat with GB Power Players podcast cards. So all the people who've been on the podcast so far, and of course in version 2, we'll have you, in this as well. So just, all the people who've actually been there in the fitness industry. You've had, in fact, Rajat and been there. Rajat has been a Mr. Olympia and been there as, his partner and a whole bunch of other people. So I'm sure this would also be an interesting, collateral and collectible for you.
Thank you so much. That's a lot of gifts for me today.
You're most welcome. And once again,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming down. Ladies and gentlemen, Vikas Jain, taking fitness, to the next level, making some super things happen. Anytime Fitness, great company. I've had the good opportunity of working with them as well. If you haven't checked them out, definitely go ahead and check them out. They're probably in a neighborhood close to you. If they're not, then ask for them to be brought into a neighborhood, close to you. A phenomenal company, great culture, great values, good people, and someone that I really vouch for. And that's why I've had them on the podcast today. Love to have your feedback. Love to have your thoughts. Love to have, your insights on what your fitness journey is looking like. Throw that in the comments, and looking forward to hearing from you soon. You all take care.